winner of the New Jersey Press Association's Most Innovative Award.
Welcome back to Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shea, bringing you the top headlines in Central New Jersey. Here's what's going on in your neighborhood. Wear Red Day, Ebola debate, 3D printing, Groundhog Day, and petitioning Bruno Mars. Local residents are being asked to have a heart on February 6th by taking part in National Wear Red Day. Many hospitals in the area are planning events this week and throughout American Heart Month as they take a stand against heart disease. Heart disease is the leading cause of death among men and women in the country. Each year, more than 500,000 Americans suffer heart attacks, but the majority of them don't receive treatment quickly enough. While several healthcare chains in Central New Jersey are taking measures to lessen the time it takes for a patient to be seen by a cardiac team. From the Code Heart Initiative at Raritan Bay Medical Center to a new multi-specialty suite at Bayshore Community Hospital, local facilities say they have reduced the treatment time for heart attack patients. For more on what these hospitals are doing, see this week's editions of Greater Media newspapers. And here's Mark Rossman with a local initiative that aims to help young musicians.
A Freehold Borough couple is honoring the memory of their son by seeking donations of acoustic guitars in playable condition. Bill and Karen High lost their 19-year-old son Benjamin in 2007. They are taking his love of music and helping young people to achieve their musical dreams with an organization they call The Project Matters. The goal of the organization is to advance the creation of music with an emphasis on helping musicians who are 21 and younger. Musicians are offered assistance that can include funding for education, instruments, touring and production expenses, and mentoring in the areas of business, artist consulting, and law. The Project Matters is now working on a Guitar Days campaign to supply young musicians with guitars, and it received a boost recently when guitarist Sean Hurwitz of the group Smash Mouth donated 2 guitars. For more information about this organization, see this week's news transcript, Examiner, or Tri-Town News.
What is the tool that surgeons, NASA engineers, and furniture makers all can use? Here's Adam Jacko with the answer.
What if you could create a functioning human organ on your computer and then print it out? According to Jeffrey Kiefer, the owner of the East Brunswick-based company 3D Artifice, feats like that are exactly what's on the horizon for the technology of 3D printing. 3D printers are changing the way people think about making things, from creating cheap and durable prosthetic limbs to producing components for NASA projects. Far more than just a way to create nifty trinkets, 3D printers are increasingly contributing to complex and significant projects as their availability and sophistication increase. Trent Welcome, a professor of architecture at Brookdale Community College, even envisioned a time when robots capable of 3D printing create facilities on the moon before astronauts arrive. While those plans are still theoretical, Welcome said 3D printing is already changing the world in big and small ways. To learn more about 3D printing, see the full article in this week's East Brunswick Sentinel.
And here are the headlines you need to know this week. Bitter conditions and drifts of icy snow did not postpone Middlesex County's survey of the homeless population last month. The point-in-time survey acts as a barometer to better inform officials of the resources needed by homeless residents. Throughout the county, more than 200 surveys were collected this year. A local teen has taken a dark problem faced by our community and brought it into the light. For her Girl Scout Gold Award, 16-year-old Heather Jones created a documentary highlighting the dangers of opiate addiction. A screening of her work will take place this Sunday at the Reformed Church in Metuchen. More than 100 students and parents recently tried their hand at coding at Milltown's Hour of Code event. Attendees attempted to write computer code, regardless of their skill level. The international initiative aims to encourage students to pursue careers in computer science and related fields. 8-year-old Nico Oneto is battling for his life against leukemia, but there's one person who can always make him smile, Bruno Mars. To help make his dream of meeting the pop star come true, Nico's supporters have set up a petition to ask Bruno Mars to pay a visit as Nico begins another round of chemo. You can find the petition by searching for Nico's Ninjas on gopetition.com. And here's Mike Pavlichko of Greater Media's WCTC with an update on Rutgers basketball. After that, we have Tim Morris with more on local sports.
So congratulations to Rutgers women's basketball coach C. Vivian Stringer. She is now one of the 2 winningest women's basketball coaches in Big Ten history with a win on Super Bowl Sunday at the rack against Penn State. Ironically, she tied former Nittany Lions head coach Renee Portland's 175 wins. Portland owned it. Now the two share it. When will Stringer break that record? Who knows? It could be Thursday night when Rutgers entertains nationally ranked Nebraska, and that would be nice. Another win against a top 25 team to bolster the NCAA resume. Now, while most of those wins came while Stringer was the head coach at Iowa, actually all but the wins this season coming at Iowa, it speaks to her longevity and immeasurable success. And I say immeasurable because for Stringer, while she's taken 3 programs to the Final Four, Cheney, State, Iowa, and Rutgers, she's taken the Scarlet Knights to a national championship game, and she wants to win so badly every time she's out there for a game. It's about more than that. It's about being a positive role model for young women. And you get the feeling that when Stringer walks into your living room and says, "I'll take care of your daughter," she means it. Which is why, despite a Rutgers program that has seen its share of ups and downs over the years under Stringer, she remains worth it, win or lose. And these days in the Big Ten, they're doing more winning than anything else, and that doesn't hurt either. I'm Mike Pavlichko on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
George Elgoul, number 4, is the field general of Marlboro's half-court motion offense. It relies heavily on 6'5" Matt Ringel, number 25. They use him for outside screens and, of course, inside baskets. He can also find the open man. He had a triple-double in this game. But what the Mustangs are all about is full-court pressure defense, which they use to harass the Eagles all night, forcing them into one turnover after another on the way to the 65-57 triumph that put Marlboro over 500. When they weren't scoring in transition off turnovers, Mustangs could generate good shots in the half-court offense as well. As the last line of defense, Ringel's shot blocking and rebounding is just as important as his offense. It triggered a fast break here that may have come up empty, but George Elgoul will show his quick hands and turn this steal into a quick 2 points. Tim Morris for Greater Media Newspapers.
After last week's winter storm Juno, many New Jersey residents were probably wondering if that was the worst of winter this year. Well, local groundhog says, not a chance. Here's Kathy Chang.
Milltown Mel, the soothsaying groundhog, has spoken. 6 more weeks of winter. The furry creature's prediction on February 2nd brought boos from the small crowd who braved the dreary weather of rain, ice, and snow for the borough's annual Groundhog Day celebration, held in the parking lot of the American Legion. The Milltown Wranglers, including Councilman Jerry Guthline, who was Mel's handler, and Ron Dixon, dressed in black coats and black top hats, led the procession. The Milltown Groundhog Day celebration is an evolution of the Guthline family's own observance of the holiday. They purchased a groundhog from a farm in Pennsylvania, naming him Milltown Mel, and with blessings from the township, a borough tradition was born. Although the prediction is not what most people wanted to hear, Milltown Mel has a decent record of 5-1 when predicting the weather. This year, Milltown Mel is in agreement with Puxatawny Phil on their predictions of 6 more weeks of winter. Staten Island Chuck predicted an early spring.
As the Ebola outbreak ebbs in Africa, New Jerseyans are still dealing with a related issue within state lines. Here's Kenny Walter.
Plans to quarantine travelers at Fort Monmouth who have been exposed to Ebola are coming under fire from local officials who say the decision was imposed and should have been made in a public forum. Freeholder Lillian Burry and the mayors of the 3 towns that host the fort, Dennis Connolly of Eatontown, Michael Mahan of Oceanport, and Gerald Turning Sr. of Tinton Falls, issued a joint statement Monday after a conference call earlier that day. The statement stresses that the proposal to house a quarantine facility at Fort Monmouth is limited to people who may have been exposed to Ebola while visiting 3 West African nations. For more information, please visit gmnews.com.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, see your Greater Media newspaper today. Keep up with the latest headlines by liking us on facebook.com/Greater Media Broadcast News or following us on Twitter at GMediaNews. I'm Susie Shea. See you next time.